Hello everyone, Kika and I decided to give 5 free tickets for the game Antonine versus Riyadi on January 14 at 4:45 p.m. Whoever liked this video, subscribe and comment will get a chance to win.
Hello, we started already. It's recorded. Things got a little bit heated. He hit me, I responded to him.
You never know, suggest Riyadi next one, you never know, right?
Until I was 18, my parents were not showing up. Shojayi, our ex-coach, we beat Sages. Life goes on. All this ex-Yugoslavia is known for the very demanding and hard-working coaches. Coaches are changing their approach. They are getting softer. I was like, what is this? I mean, Michael Johnson was running 22, 23 seconds. It's difficult to fall asleep. Sometimes I feel in my head like a computer, you know, when you have open like 30 tabs.
Kika, I'm so happy to have you today. You played in Germany, you won a cup with Germany, you played also in France and won a cup. You traveled over the world, played in the Middle East. You played also with the national team of Bosnia for 10 years. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. First of all, once again, Happy New Year to you and to all people. I wish to have 2024 healthy and successful, and what to say, dream big and work hard for your goals, and you will achieve it.
Right, nice. Look, you know something, you traveled all over the world. What's the first lesson that you learned from traveling like different places? Like you've been to the Middle East and then to Europe, also playing in the EuroLeague. That's crazy also. What's the first lesson that you learned from traveling all over the world?
Well, there's many lessons you can learn like mostly every day, but yeah, I mean, as you said, I played in many different countries and in different continents also, like Asia, Africa and Europe, and yeah, from different places you can learn a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, basketball-wise, basketball is universal, like it's almost more or less the same game everywhere, but you know, from the lifestyle, from the culture, from transition, you can learn a lot of stuff about the country, about the people, and that's why I'm grateful to have that opportunity to travel, to play in different countries and to learn some new things about the people and about the culture. And I really appreciate that. Besides the basketball, of course, I like to experience, of course, different leagues, different countries, basketball-wise, but also this other part is also very interesting for us players to experience, like how is the life, like normal life besides the basketball.
All right. So which country you've been to and you felt like it's very challenging, like to adapt to, you know, the place, the environment, the basketball league maybe. And what was the biggest, if you want, like obstacle to adapt to this place?
Well, I started, of course, first in my hometown, Tuzla in Bosnia. Right. And then I moved to Serbia to the team Red Star Belgrade, but Belgrade was like 200 kilometers from my hometown, and it doesn't feel like I was away. It's like 2 hours a drive. But first, let's say, challenging situation was like moving real far, because my next team after Red Star was a Russian team, Yenisei Krasnoyarsk from Siberia. So I moved like 7,000 kilometers from my home, and different time zones. So that was the first time like I experienced like it was real abroad and being far from home. And that first year there was like a little bit demanding and challenging in terms of everything because I was far from home, and living in Krasnoyarsk is a bit far also in basketball terms, because for every away game you need to travel like 4 hours to Moscow first, and then you catch another flight, and then you go to another city. You need to change like 4 time zones just to move to Moscow. So it was difficult to adapt on all these circumstances, because you need to travel, you need to recover fast, prepare for the game, then again you travel back again 5, 6, 7 hours time difference, then adapt. It was a bit challenging from that part also, but I mean, I was grateful to get the opportunity to play in the Russian league. At that time it was, I mean, one of the best leagues in Europe, in top 3 besides Turkish and Spanish league. And me being like, at that time I was like 23, 24 years old, and getting an opportunity to play in such a strong league was a big challenge for me. And of course I was trying to use all that and to gain more experience.
You know, that's a good way to put it, like traveling away and the time zone. Like, I don't know, I was telling you that I live in the States too. So we have a big time zone from Lebanon, and just moving there. And sometimes like in the States, you have like time zones. So the way you adapt to it, it's really not easy at the point where you have to like the sleep pattern changes, and then you have maybe the weather changes. So you were saying you were in Siberia, right? So I'm pretty sure it's very cold there, right?
Yeah, that's the second part.
Yeah, so how you were like from, I don't know, you moved from Bosnia to Siberia. How was the weather change too, and how do you like work on that? Because that's a pretty, interesting also,
yeah,
like
that's,
the weather.
In my first answer, I didn't pay attention to that also. I was talking only about time difference, but yeah, the weather conditions are also, let's say, challenging because winter is, basketball season is mostly from September until May or June. So it was snowing like from October until, let's say, April or May. So, and of course, December and January are really, really cold, like minus 30, minus 40 degrees. Most of the time, minus 20, let's say, in those 2 months, but sometimes it goes even more. So yeah, you need to adapt to that and not to go too much outside and wear some warm clothes. I mean, inside heating is really good. So in the gym, in apartment, in the restaurants, shopping malls, there is no problem. But of course, if you go outside, prepare your scarf, gloves, and
was it elevated? Like it was like high in the mountains, Siberia, right?
No, it wasn't like that high in mountains, but climate there is like that. During the winter it gets really, really cold, but during the summer it's also like 25, 30 degrees warm and hot. So it's like huge difference between summer and a winter day. But as I said, I catch most of this winter season playing from September, let's say, to May. But okay, I mean, I spent 4 years there at the same club, so first year was difficult, let's say, but after that, you try to adapt. You are 1 year, you have more experience and you know how to react in certain situations. But for me, harder part was to adapt to traveling, because it's not just you move to European part of Russia, or because we played also some European cups. We have like international games playing in France, in Belgium. Then you move from Siberia to France, it can take like more than 20 hours to get there. I mean, we played against some team close to Lyon. The trip was 23 hours. You take one plane from Krasnoyarsk to Moscow, which takes 5 hours. Then you wait at the airport, then another flight from Moscow to Paris. Then again wait, then Paris to Lyon.
Yeah.
And then again you come to Lyon, then you catch the bus to get to that city, Chalon-sur-Saône. So it was, yeah. And then you play a game, I don't know. And then after that, again, come back and again repeat all this, but in opposite way. Then you can lose your sleeping rhythm, and way of the recovery was not easy. So for that club was, I think, too much to play European competitions and national league, because 2 games per week is really, really challenging. And then, after a certain time, we are starting to get tired, and it affects the results, the performances also. And it was not easy to manage. My second season there, or third, we played only national league, and we had much better results, like having 1 game per week. so you can like have a game, have proper rest after that, because flying over there, here and there, I mean, it was really challenging and not easy for any player.
So what's the worst thing or the most challenging thing as an athlete? Do you feel like traveling is one of the most like working as a sports athlete, because that's your job, like traveling is the worst thing?
Well, I wasn't thinking much about the worst things, because I'm really grateful for opportunity to be to be in sports, because even before I started playing basketball, I really liked all sports. Not only playing, I would like to watch on TV. Doesn't matter what is on TV, I always choose to watch sports: basketball, football, volleyball, Formula One, tennis, whatever. I like to watch more sports than, let's say, a movie or TV show, or I don't know. So for me, being in sports is just amazing to do the job that you like, because, let's say, like most of the people, they are forced to work some jobs that they don't like. So being just in sports, it's really a reward for me. So I didn't have so many obstacles in my career. Of course, now we mentioned like all these traveling issues and stuff, but okay, it can happen. But it was like 4 years for me. But at that time, of course, I was much younger, let's say. So it wasn't that difficult for me that it would be, for example, now in this age. But life is like that. Sometimes you will have some more obstacles. Sometimes it will be easier. Now I'm in Lebanon. We don't travel much, so all the games are here.
You're in a small
30
country
minutes.
now.
I mean, the maximum you drive is like 30-40 minutes to play a game. Also, last 2 years I was in Dubai, in Kuwait. Also, maximum like 20 minutes drive. So life gives you back again. So sometimes you go 4 hours, and sometimes it comes always to the middle.
Minutes.
Yeah. So that's life.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know why I asked you? So I was talking to a tennis player in the States, and he traveled overseas, like to Europe, to play a tournament. So he has his whole family with him. He has his coaches and himself and his whole crew, physical therapist, and he traveled. And he told me, like, sometime we travel all the way from the state to, like, France. And if I lose the first game, I go back to the state. So imagine, like, traveling for only one game and then losing that game. And I didn't realize it. You don't see it from a other perspective. Like, he's playing tennis in France, but he told me, like, he pays everything, and tennis is a very expensive sport. You get sponsorship and all of that, but the way like traveling can be exhausting. So he told me I used to focus on like the nice stuff, like you mentioned. So it's a good approach to see it. Like you got blessed to play like in France or travel to France. You don't see like the moving, like it's a big challenge. So this is also very important, like focusing on stuff that you can actually see rewards and blessings, and not focusing on the down part of it. And it's part of the process. I feel like sometimes I feel like setting up for the podcast is like too much for me, but just I see the reward and I'm like, all right, let me focus on that. And I think that's the good part of it. And how did you like learn that? How did you manage to focus on things that actually are important and not like on because it can be a trap. You can get trapped by the thing that, we're traveling a lot of times and I'm not seeing my friends, right? Because you probably miss your friend. How do you deal with that?
Yes, I mean, as you said, like it's a matter of approach or attitude to the life. Like with years and with experience, and as we get older, I mean, we learn more from the past, and we know how to react in different situations and how to focus on, like you said, positive things and rewards we got in the life. As you said, a tennis player, I mean, if you think, I'm going to lose my first match and then we need to travel back straight to the States,
right.
In that way he would put so much pressure on himself and probably he wouldn't perform on the required level to win the game. So, I mean, there is also like that approach is really important. And as you said, tennis is really expensive sport. Before I start to practice basketball, I wanted to start with tennis.
Really?
But like you said, it was expensive at that time, and Then I grew up quick, and I was like around 2 meters, so everyone was like, you should start to play basketball, and this is how everything started. But no, even nowadays I'm following tennis really, and I like to watch the matches, and I find it like a mentally very tough sport, because there is no way you can point a finger on others. It's only you on the court. So sometimes people don't understand tennis players when they start cursing or yelling or breaking the racket.
Smashing the racket.
Yeah, but you need to find a way to, to release the stress, because there is no one on the court that you can point the finger and say, it's not my fault, it's your fault. In team sports is different, you can say, he didn't pass the ball to me on the time, I was wide open or something like that. But on tennis, you are by yourself, and yeah, it's mentally tough. But as I said, I like tennis, and the point is just focus on the positive stuff, and reward will come to you, sure.
About tennis, if you think about it, it's the only game where you play 5 hours. There's no other sports that actually can go like on a Grand Slam. They go 5 hours. So I was listening to, Nick Kyrgios, right? So I really like this guy. So he was saying, like, how can you, if you judge me on 1 minute out of 5 hours, like, this is not fair, because he sometimes like smashes rackets or talk to, other people, like, starting like cursing about people and saying stuff. But it's a 5 hours game. Like, it's crazy. It's not like a 2 hours, and you will lose your mind. You have money in it, right? Because if you win a Grand Slam, like, it's ridiculous. So have you felt like this way, like one time where you actually lost your mind on court, or like, went crazy about it, or during a game, or maybe with a national team? I don't know. Do you have any experience of it?
Yeah, but talking about Nick Kyrgios, still he can't find excuse. He is a specific person, so he is doing more those stuff over reacting trash talk and stuff. But he is that kind of person, and in fact, I think he's a good guy. But just how it comes with the media and everything, they are trying to emphasize on his dark side, let's say.
Right.
But yeah, Nick Kyrgios is a great guy. But yeah, I remember those tennis matches I followed. Sometimes you watch like first set, and then I need to go to practice. I do my practice, I come back, they're still there. I was like,
exact same thing. Yeah,
what are those guys still doing? And then it comes like 3, 4, 5 hours. Of course you cannot judge them if they smash the racket or something, because after 4 hours or 5 hours, I remember also Nadal and Djokovic playing like 6 hours and 12 minutes Australian Open finals in 2012, like one of the longest finals in the history. So it's really a mess, but okay, they're used to that. That's why they are preparing for that. They know what to expect, and they're dealing good in that way. About me losing my mind on the court, it didn't happen much, let's say. Maybe when I was younger, I didn't know how to control my emotions the best. But as a person, I consider myself like a calm person, and let's say I react normally on the court. I don't let anyone to provoke me on or something. So I don't have like bad experiences having some fights or something. I had one, but it was like 12, 13 years ago. I was ejected from the game, but that was the only thing in my life.
What happened back then?
No, it was same like here. We have Riyadi Sages derby. I was in Serbia, and there is a Belgrade derby, Partizan and Red Star, and things got a little bit heated on the court with the guy from opposite team. And he hit me, I responded to him, and we were both ejected from the game. But that was the only case, I think, in my career that I was ejected.
It was a lesson, or probably it was, because you never did it before.
It was the lesson, and it was, like I said, it was 2010, I think, or something. So it was like 13, 14 years ago, and I was like young player at that time, but of course with age you learn how to react in mature way. So now those things are not happening, and hopefully will not happen in the future. You never know.
You never know. Suggest Riyadi the next one. You never know, right? So it might go again, right? If it's
no way.
Yeah. So that's a great point. I feel like it's about a character, like how you respond to people and how you respond to daily life. It reflects sports. Like I was texting you on Instagram, and you were like super helpful. And usually like when I text athletes, they're very short or, they don't have time and all of that. So I feel like just responding and texting you on Instagram and then actually meeting you and talking to you, it reflects the way you play. So that's also a very, interesting point I feel with athletes, like the way they act on the field or, in the court or anything is the way that actually you are in your daily life. So I feel this is a big plus and, a way to improve yourself or not to improve yourself, so you can see if actually I'm doing good, I'm not doing good. You're reflecting on that. How do you actually work on reflecting and improving that character on the field, on the court, like with your teammates and all of that? Do you actually sit with yourself and I don't know, maybe ask other peers, other colleagues or anything? How do you actually work on that?
Thank you for nice words. Talking about Instagram and answering, I try to respect the people. If you respect me, if you invited me to the podcast, if you find the time, to text me, of course I will find the time to answer to you in a proper way and to have nice communication. And it's all about how you treat the people. You need to be respectful and it will come back to you in some point. Talking about, you said improving on the
court, like your character, like communication with other, colleagues.
Yeah, it's a team sport, and a lot of things depend on the relations on the court and off the court, and so I'm trying to be nice and polite with everyone. Of course, we discuss the situations from the game, how to improve like a team. Of course, after the games, after the practices, I analyze myself. I talk to myself. I think how was the practice? What should I do better? How I can improve myself? How to in order to help the team more. So, those are probably the questions that every athlete asks himself after the games. Of course, after the games, for example, it's difficult to fall asleep, especially here in Lebanon, because we have these late games at 9:45 when the game is broadcasted on MTV. So the game starts at 9:45. And then when you come home, you have like small dinner or I don't know. Adrenaline is still high. You are thinking about the game and stuff. And then sometimes I feel in my head like it's like a computer, when you have open like 30 tabs, Yeah. And then you are thinking, why I did this, why... Then I'm thinking about also team performance. We were up, then suddenly we drop our performance, for example, in some period of game in second quarter, why it happened here, there. And then it takes me a time, to analyze everything and to fall asleep. So yeah, it's a process. You need to be focused on your job, of course, like every job you do, you prepare for your job, you do the job, then you analyze how was your performance. This is the way how you can improve yourself. And of course, we have team sessions, team videos, watching the games, analyzing. Besides preparing the games, it's also important to analyze performance, to see the good things, to see the bad things. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you can win the game, but not to play in your best way. So it's not. Sometimes win can hide all the bad things you did. So it's important to be demanding to yourself. I don't want to just win. I want to come and perform well. I don't know, help to my teammates do everything. Talking on individual level, also as a team. We sometimes, of course, you will lose the game. You need to come again, practice harder, regroup, and those stuff. It's part of our job, and it helps you to improve your performances as an individual, as a team also.
You know, very good point. I love when you said that sometimes you win, but after winning, you still have mistakes. And actually that winning is not like the result, is how you performed. And I had a coach like long time ago, he said like, even if we win or we lose, sometimes even if we lose, he asked, are you satisfied after the game? Like, how was your satisfaction level after the performance? And I feel this is super important. Like, you know, you win a game or you lose a game, but are you actually satisfied? Did you met your goals during the game? You know what I mean? So
I know.
I think that's a very good way to put it. It's not like, okay, winning and losing is important. It's actually what the result, that's what you want, obviously. But are you actually getting that satisfaction of performance? So that's a great way. I mean, you just said it. I really like this.
Most of the coaches will say like that, you know, like before the game, they will say, I want you, when you finish the game, to watch yourself in the mirror and, you know, to tell yourself, I gave all I had in this game. This is the best I can. I performed like on my best level. And he wants from all players, I mean, most of the coaches wants from all players to have that feeling after the game. So I gave my best in, I don't know, hustling, playing defense, playing offense, helping my teammates, running, rebounding, whatever. You know, so I follow, I don't know, coach's instructions. I did this, I did that. So that's the feeling that most of the coaches want the player have after the game, because just winning, you know, sometimes it can make you feel too relaxed, you know.
Yeah.
And now we have situation that we beat Sagesse, derby game. I don't know. Everyone was happy, but life of sportsman. I mean, we need to move on. Life goes on. New game is coming. Like, let's say, a dangerous game, because we play against Meiruba, and we need to respect and treat all the opponents the same way. So after the win, of course, it's great joy for the fans and everything, but after one day of, let's say, celebration, I mean, celebration and this joy is short term, you know, that feeling that you have, it disappears after the game quickly. Again, you need to refocus and think about next game, because that's the only approach that you can have if you want to push yourself, if you want to be better, let's say, for 1% each day. When you come to practice, you need to do even harder. I mean, even harder. That happens mostly after the loss, when the team is, wow, we lost the game, now we need to. But big teams, what are doing, they, after every game, doesn't matter win or lose, they will continue to practice on the same high level and get better, not only after the loss, but after the win also.
Yeah, right. That's a great way to put it. Just like be consistent with actually working. Like forget, I mean, you will lose, you will win, but be consistent with working. That's a great way to put it. Where did you learn that? Is it like something that from experience where you were too high or too low, and then the next day we're like, oh, there's something wrong, or a coach, or maybe, I don't know, your family. I mean, I feel parenting also. I had a situation lately where like parenting, I felt like with an athlete, with a young athlete, but I'll get to it in a second. But where did you learn like getting those feelings and controlling and managing, like, all right, we won and then we lost, but I'll keep working?
Yeah, it comes with experience, but also this period, let's say from 16 years old to 18 years old, and then moving to like senior basketball. It's an important part of life for every person and for every sportsman. If we talk particularly about basketball, it's important to have good coaches at that time. The coaches that will teach you like not only basketball lessons, but life lessons also. I was lucky at that time in my hometown. I had great support of my coaches, and at that time really I learned a lot of stuff, how to approach to practice, how to approach to the games and stuff like that, and all those things we previously mentioned. It is important to be a hard worker. our countries, let's say Bosnia, Serbia, and all this Yugoslavia area is known for the very demanding and hardworking coaches.
Right.
So since
even the mentality, like the history, if you go back to history,
yes,
like all the, like, you know, Yugoslavian and Russian, like they have like a tough mentality, or like a tough hardworking. I feel this is also like built in you. Like it comes with your maybe genetics too, right? It's like your family and everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like that part is well known in Europe, in the world, that ex-Yugoslavian coaches, let's say we talk about basketball, so particularly in basketball, are really demanding, and they want to work hard, practice hard. And since young age, I was taught to do in that way. So everything under 100% was not acceptable, neither to coaches, neither to me. So as I said, this period, like when you are 16, 17, 18, you know, moving to senior basketball, it's really important to learn all this stuff about approach. I mean, it reflects later on to your life also. I mean, you approach to the sport 100%, dedication, everything, it will reflect later on. Maybe some of the guys will not make it to the high level, but still they can do all this stuff and be responsible and dedicated in the job they do. So I had that luck that I work with the right people in the right time. And during my, let's say, whole career, I was mostly working with the coaches from my region. And then when I moved to France, it was, I think, my first time that I practiced with French coach, or let's say Western
different culture.
Yeah, different culture, Western European coach. And then I was like surprised, shocked, like, wow, the things can go even in this way, you know, because I was like used to have like hard practices, coaches who will yell on you, you know, to push you to work more and to work harder. And but of course, with life and all this experience, I don't know how many years already professionally I play, you learn like there is different ways to come to the success. Hard work, you cannot, nothing can change that. But of course, there are different, if you're talking about coaching, different types of coaches, you know. They see their team, okay, I have those guys. Maybe he analyzes his players, he say, okay, maybe I can yell to this guy. Other guy, he is soft a little bit. Maybe I will not,
right.
you know, I will not push him much because after that his performance maybe will go down or something. But that's like in coaching a job, like you know what to expect from someone. But as I said, in France, first time I moved to team Nancy, and
right.
It was like short-term contract, maybe 2 months only for end of the season and for the playoffs. I came, and the first 2 games we lost by 2 points, both. And then we played like quickly 2 away games, 48 hours, we lost both. And I was like a little bit sad, bothered, like after the game, because previously in my country, if you lose the game, it's tragic, you know.
Right, yeah,
don't show up in a public for a few days. Everyone is sad, stuff, that angry, fans and everything. But we lost these 2 games, and then a general manager of the team approached to me after the game, and then he said, like, is everything okay? Like, I see you are a little bit down. What happened? I said, I mean, I don't feel good because I just arrived to the team. We lost 2 games, and I don't like, you know, this losing the
right.
games. Of course, after the game, I was bothered. He said, don't worry, it's just sports.
Wow.
And then you see him, you see coach, like they took a beer, let's say after the game or something, like it's sports, winning or losing, you know, you need to go on.
Right.
So I saw both sides, like Eastern, Western, however you want to call it, like different coaching styles, life approach and stuff. And it helped me like to see the things from another perspective. Yeah, like it's not everything black or white, like it's not that simple. So you can gain the results with different approaches also, but of course it's a matter to pick right approach to according to the team you have and everything.
Correct. I've been traveling a lot, and I feel the more you travel, the more you meet people, the more you become flexible, like mentally, physically flexible. Like it's not black and white. And going back to one thing, you said like when you were in, when you started your career, your coach actually helped you a lot, like life lessons. And I feel this is super important. Like if you see the best, like let's say the best sports in the world, which is football right now, which is soccer in the States. Well, let's call it football today. Yes. So it's football, right? So let's say Liverpool, which is one of the best teams. If you see the coach, which is Klopp, he's actually German. Like the way he treats his players after the game, like he goes like hug them, talk to them. Like you feel this is the connection. Like this is where everything started. It's not about only because you can get like many coaches like Klopp, right? But not everyone has this character, and people will like you maybe because you are this type of person. So I feel this is why I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I love Klopp because his way he actually like treats player. It's just phenomenal, it's just so nice to see it. So that's also a good plus. And probably you felt the same thing when you started your career, like people helping you in life, giving you like tips, giving you like ideas about not only sports, but life.
Yes, it's at that age it's really important. Not, some advices are not coming only from the coaches. Also, older players are also responsible for the younger guys. Coach cannot tell you like everything, but for example, I had the luck that I have some older players in my team that were already experienced, that been through all this way, and they know what obstacles can come to the young players. So they will show you the way, how you should live the life, not only about basketball, how you should be focused on your school, on on your practice. For example, how to rest between the practices, not to go, here and there. So that part is really, really important, especially, school. I was really dedicated to the school, primary school, high school, and I had good grades, and I think that's important for every sportsman now. I feel like school is not respected like it was before this, and for example, in sports there is really small percentage the players that will make it to the professional level. So you cannot just have a bad grades. You need to think about your future. Even if you are really talented, good, one injury can change your life. So good education and good dedication to school is important for life. Not only for the sports, but also I think that also sportsmen should be good educated, and that's why you said you lived in States. I say that's why I love States, because of this college system, and you need to besides basketball you need to show up in a school, you need to learn the lessons, pass the exams and stuff, and not to avoid it. And it's important for every person and for sportsmen too.
Yeah, I feel like, the basketball all over the world, especially in the States, but even like here.
Sorry, I forgot about Klopp.
Oh, you like Klopp, huh?
You mentioned Klopp. I'm not Liverpool fan. I'm a Man United fan.
Oh.
I like Alex Ferguson and those days better than today. But about the Klopp, you said like German, everyone would expect like he's strong, discipline. He will not talk to the players. He will be like tough on them. But I think he's great fit for Liverpool and for all these Liverpool fans. They are, how they call it, like rock and roll Klopp, and they play this high pressure and everything. He brings the emotion. He has this crowd which is amazing on Anfield Road. So I say that's the example when the coach is great fit for the team, for the environment, for the culture of the club, and he really does it in great way. And all these successes, he really deserves credit for most of them.
Right. So first, I also love Alex Ferguson, but I will give you a small comparison. I feel like Alex Ferguson and Klopp, there are two different coaches and different like mentality or schools. Like Alex Ferguson used to sit, not say any word, let the team figure out on the spot, let the team play. And Klopp, he's the other guy who's always standing in front and just yelling at everyone and like playing and just like he wants to be involved in everything because I feel he has a lot of passion. You know how I compare it to like parenting, right? So if your mom and dad, you have two different type of people. They will let you know and they will let you figure it out. And some people, they like, oh, this is how you do it because if you go this way, it'll be better, you know? So I feel this is more about like mentality and where they come from school. But I also had a small situation last day. I was working out and doing like a pull-up, right? And it was an outdoor gym, so it was like on the road. And there was like a kid with his dad who actually the kid wanted to try to do pull-up. So I was putting my headphone, listening to music, and the kid just show up and he's like, he tried to jump, but he cannot reach it, right? So his dad is like, oh, that's too young for you. You don't have to do that. Let's go home. You have school the next day. So I took off my headphones and I was like, just let him try. Just help him, like hold him. Let him try to do a pull-ups. Maybe he will love it. Why you're just, because you mentioned about school and education, like how the system works. And I feel like let him try. Let him see how it goes to do a pull-ups. He might like it. He might not. But why you're limiting him, just sending him back home because you have a school system that's coming next day, you know? So I feel like coaching is like parenting. It comes from the same, you know, mentality and letting just give creativity. And Alex Ferguson, he had that a lot. Just let them play. I've never seen like Alex Ferguson running. I mean, he's a little bit old, but you know.
No, but even when he was younger, he was like 20 years in Manchester. So, but no, it's about his style, you know. But I mean, such a big club like Manchester United, and to stay there and to manage the team for I don't know how many years, like. It's really historical, and I mean, I'm sad that he's still not here with a Manchester team because they tried many coaches after that, but no one made a success.
No one did it.
Yeah, but you see a different approach which gives results. Like he was more quiet on the bench, but of course, when you come to the locker room, he will take the shoe and throw it to David Beckham, you know, because players really respected him. But nowadays, I have a feeling that coaches are changing their approach to the players and everything, and let's say they are getting softer, if I need to say in that way. I mean, it's like that in a sports and even in basketball. I feel like some coaches from my country that I know them from before, I know their coaching style. Now they're adapting it to, like, let's say, new generation players, which is more like, I don't know, no more like hard practices, no yelling and stuff, which, I mean, that's a worldwide trend, let's say, now. So
why do you feel this is happening? Like, why coaches are being softer?
I mean, not all of them, but let's say most of them. Like, but I mean, we grew up in a different, let's say, maybe circumstances or different parenting way. I don't know. Before, parents were allowed to hit us. To hit us if we do something wrong, you know. Now, you know, if somebody hits a little bit his kid, say, don't do that. They are like, oh, we'll
call the cop, right?
He's abusing, police, like, you know. There were some cases, even in my country, I don't know, some father a little bit slapped his son, I don't know, who was 2-3 years old, and people from the park, some other people who were sitting on the bench, they just called the cops, and then cops came. Like, what are you doing? You know, of course, I'm not for the violence, far from that, but you know, don't do that. And you know, many people from my generation, from older generations, will say, oh, I'm grateful for my parents because, like, you know, they were strong with me. They teach me life lessons. They show me the way how I should live and stuff. And now, you know, everything is more, it's a different approach. I mean, I don't say it's wrong. Of course, there are different ways, but it reflects afterwards. For example, in life, if we talk particularly about sports, Like now you are coaching the players who grew up, you know, a little bit more flexible parenting way, and you are coaching new generation players with different habits, different lifestyle, maybe comparing to old school, let's say, or old generations. So the coaches are adapting to that, you know, because players now, they have, I don't know, different habits, different lifestyles, and coaches are trying to implement like their coaching methods according to that. And I mean, it's reasonable, you know, you cannot like coach the players like in old school way. I don't know, let's go, we practice 3 hours or something like that. I mean, also coaching methods, you are a physical coach, you said it's changing, you know. 15 years ago when I started, nobody had a band.
Right.
Yeah,
now
know,
everyone bands.
Now everyone has a band. You cannot imagine a practice without a band. I don't know,
foam roller
or something. When I started, nobody had that. Pre-season now, there is no pre-season in a football stadium. Before, I had a coach come. We run 30 times 200 meters, full sprint. You need to do it for 28 seconds. So after one time, I don't know, I did it for 30 seconds. I was like, what is this? I mean, Michael Johnson was running 22, 23 seconds, you know. So to repeat it for 30 reps was really challenging. But now you come and all you do, for example, in preseason is about basketball. You don't go outdoors. So, you know, with years, I mean, everything is changing, life is changing. So the coaches also adapt their coaching style to new tendencies, let's say.
Right. So I have 2 ideas about what you said. The first one, I feel because they give you, now there's more options. If you think about it, like you have band, you have foam roll, you have gum massage, you can show up to practice, you cannot, your mom is driving you, whatever it is, you know, you have more options. Like back in the days, you have one thing. So you have less distractions and one thing to actually focus on. So when you're like more driven to focus on one thing, I feel helps you more to actually be tougher, because this is how it should be done. We have one thing. We don't have other options. The other thing is that, like right now, academies, I mean, all over the world, but let's say United States, which is the biggest, you know, sports country and everything, like everything is, you have to pay. So the second you have to pay, now you become, it's like you're owning, like you own your son because your son is in an academy, or I don't know, and you know, you own that money that you're putting, so you want it to be your way. So now if the coach start yelling at the kid, and then the parents say, oh, you're being too tough, you know? So it's a two-way situation, I feel. It's not like, yeah, because back in the days, more stuff were more free. There was not like everything was paying. Like now academies, basketball, everything is paying. You know, we're creating more academies, which is good, but there's the money investment in it. And this is where you want it to be your way, because how it should be. Instead of that, like parents should step back and let it be. You know, let your son actually, he's an athlete or not. You know,
no,
what do you think about that? I mean, son, you have a son, right?
My son,
so what do you think
he started with Riyadi Academy.
Okay.
And then I was there like to see him for a couple of practices and stuff. And then what you say about parenting, yeah, I think parents are like trying to be too much involved in this practice process, you know. For example, when I started practicing basketball a little bit late. Let's say I was 13 years old. But until I was 18, my parents were not showing up neither for practice, neither for game.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, but now, for example, I came to practice of my son in Riyadi Academy. And then, of course, you see the parents all there excited, cameras on, you know, mobile phones. Okay, shoo habibi, yalla, video. Right. And, you know, then they are like, focus. You know, they are trying to be the part of coaching process also, to be more involved, which was not
the case.
Yeah, which was not the case when I was starting. So for me, it's a little bit different, let's say. Acceptable, of course, with new generation, everything comes. But I like more this old school. So, maybe because I grew up like that or something, but still I think it's more helpful to leave the kids to the coaches.
So now the real question is, do you do this with your son or no?
I mean, I don't give him any advices about, and I would never say anything bad about his coach or I don't want, coach has authority, he needs to be respected, and I'm not giving him any advices about that. But just in Riyadi, next to our court, when we had the practice, he had the practice. So sometimes I come and, just to see the practice, but I never interfere in the coach's job or something. When the time comes, if he really likes basketball, I will give him advices, of course, but I'm not putting any pressure on him that he must be basketball player, that he must succeed or something. He will choose when the time comes what he likes. And for now, he is allowed to practice and to do whatever he wants. I mean, he's 6 years old, and at that age, kids just need to have the fun, to enjoy the practice, because I started it when I was 13, and everything was more serious because, at that time you go to under 14 team, you play games, tournaments, under 16. And in my country, like, if you didn't show any talent or something when you were 18, they will tell you like maybe it's better to focus more on college and stuff, to decide your future, because in some Western countries maybe they wait for you when you are 23, 24, they say, oh, he's a young player. But in my country, everything comes a little bit more faster, and then like if you didn't show your skills already, they are trying to put you in another direction, maybe to consider other options in life also, So
you don't put pressure on your son that because you're in basketball, you played basketball, you grew up with basketball, you don't put pressure that he has to play basketball, or I want my son to be into sports. You don't.
No, there's no way.
Do you care about it, or it's just like whatever he wants to do,
Whatever he wants to do. I mean, there is no sense to push him to do something if he doesn't like, Before putting him in an academy, I asked him, do you want to practice basketball? They have an academy here. He said, yes, I want. And he did it already when we lived in Dubai for 1 or 2 months, So he already has experience, and he also had different coaches already. Some coach who was yelling on him, he didn't like it, and he shared his emotions with me. He's commenting about that. But no, there is no way I will put pressure on him like, hey, your dad was a basketball player, you have to be a basketball player. For me, that's not normal behavior. Like, let's just let him to have fun. He is 6. So play basketball, football. You don't want to practice, don't practice. Go on the playground, play.
So when do you start pushing him? Like, if you feel like he's maybe 10 or 13, and then he's actually doing basketball, but you don't feel he has talent or whatever it is, how do you tell him, okay, we have to move on? Because basketball. It's not like you're not coming from a background where you don't know anything about basketball, right? You're a pro, so you know what's happening. How do you how do you feel you're going to, say, oh, we have to push it now? Oh, no, let's step back. Let's not do basketball.
No, if he has a fun to playing basketball, then keep playing. You don't have to be high level player. Right. But in school, you cannot, you need to have good grades, regardless of if you will be professional or not. I mean, I had good grades. I mean, during whole high school. After that, when I moved to Serbia, I started faculty of law, University of Law, but I realized at that time that it's impossible for me to be a professional basketball player at the same time and to take the book of 600,000 pages and to learn it, and to attend in the university every day. So at that time I said it's impossible to do on the high level two different things at the same time. Yeah. So I cannot travel all around Europe playing 2 games a week, practice twice a day, and attend the classes in university, pass the exams, learn 600 pages.
You can't be Superman.
Yeah,
you can't be Superman at this point. Yeah.
I was trying even in high school, but even in the high school was a little bit demanding for me. So you need to attend like 5-6 hours to sit in the classroom, then go to 2 hours practice, where everyone will expect you to be the fastest because you are the youngest, to jump more than everyone, to perform better than anyone, to bring more energy than everyone, without, taking in consideration that you just sat in the school for, 6 hours, So after high school, when I realized that I cannot manage to do like two things in a good way, because when I do something, I do it with 100% or I don't do it, So like going to university and just wasting my time, it doesn't help. So I decided to postpone a little bit college and to focus on this basketball part, which was important and crucial for me, especially at that age, 18, 19, 20 years old.
So you end up not going to college?
No, I didn't go to this low college I started. After that, I graduated. I'm the Bachelor of Sports Management.
Oh, nice. So you got your sports management degree,
Yes,
right?
yes, I get my sports management degree. Later on, I figure out it was something that is more close to the profession I'm doing. And University of Law was great. Probably... Maybe there is no doubt that if
too much studying meant.
Yeah, but if I didn't make it to a professional basketball player, I would be a lawyer for sure. Like that was my general idea even before this basketball stuff appears. But as I said, when I do something, I do it 100% or I don't do it. So. At that time, it comes in life that you need to make some crucial decisions. So I made it. I realized that at that age, 19, 20 years old, I need to give all I have in basketball and try to, give all I have to succeed. And thank God it was a good choice.
Yeah,
Let's say.
It was a definitely good choice. It's also about priorities. I feel like you have to sacrifice first. And then there's like a priority. You can't, like you just said, you can't be 100%. And sometimes like mentally draining. Like I feel I want to be good at this, then be good at this, and then I burn out. I'm like, all right, let me step back and just actually focus on one thing.
No, sometimes you go two steps ahead and one
you
go back.
Exactly.
It's life. The things will not will always go up. You will face obstacles in every profession you do. So. Yeah, it's important not to give up, I mean, obstacles are everywhere in any profession, not only sports. Like whatever you do, you will face it. But how they say now, all these life coaches, and I don't know, in life, like it's 10% is what happens to you and 90% is how you react to all these situations you face. So I think that it's senseless to waste your energy on the things that you can't change.
Yeah, you can't control.
Yeah, you can't control. Don't waste your energy on that. Focus on the things you can change. Work on yourself, and that's the thing that will help you to grow.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Kika, let's do some Q&As.
Yeah, of course.
So let me start with the first question. Someone is asking you, which is Serena Mansour. She's asking you, most close player to Kika?
Most close player? Well, I don't know. I cannot pick one because...
Let's say in Riyadi.
No, yeah, I mean on Riyadi now. Yeah, before I was close to many players, especially from the guys from national team, because we were together like for, let's say, 10, 12 years. Playing for national team. No, I cannot pick one in Riyadi. We have great atmosphere. We have great guys, and I like all the guys, and they are really, really positive, ambitious, hungry, and I like all the guys in the team.
Let me make it harder. Give me 2 or 3 players that you actually feel like comfortable playing with, or like, just personally, like you're okay with them or you really like them.
Yeah. Now you extend it from 1 to 3. Great help. I don't know really. I mean, I was in Riyadi like 2 seasons ago, also last season, so I know most of those guys. We played together, like let's say this is the third different season we play together, so most of the guys are in the team, so I know them for years, and I cannot just say one player, but as I said, they are all great guys. We have young guys like Karim, he's like most funny in the team, let's say. Ali, who give us great energy during the practices, during the games and everything. We have experienced guys on another side like Wael, like Amir, Suma, of course, who is the legendary player who will probably break the Guinness Book records of being oldest and playing basketball professionally. And I think all those guys are really important in this puzzle, let's say, and everything brings and everything they have for the team, and they have their specific roles. But I praise them also like good human beings. Like as I said, I cannot just give you 1, 2, or 3.
Okay, cool. I like that. So George IE is asking you, do you think Riyadi is able to win this season?
George IE, our ex-coach, or
I'm not sure about that, but let's keep it this way now.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we have George IE. He's the head coach of Antonine now, and he was assistant coach with Riyadi last season. Yeah, of course, we all believe that we can defend the title, and you know how it's in Riyadi.
Right.
Only the titles are counting.
Great. Sally Tabani, she's asking you your biggest fear. That's a good one.
Biggest fear?
Yeah.
Well, we just discussed that we think about positive things and emphasize the positive things. But no, I don't know. I have a fear, let's say, from height.
From height?
Yeah, from being like on the high and then watching.
You probably do that every day. That's why, right? You watch people like that.
No. Sometimes when, let's say, you are at the restaurant and nice sea view and everything, but I like this, how you say, border to be like higher. If it's lower and then I see it from 2.10 meters, and I can be a little bit scared, but okay, it's not a big fear. But if you want to say one fear, that's the one fear. That. Okay.
So, that's an interesting name. Urvav Mirvat is asking you, are you really enjoying playing with Riyadi?
Yeah, I mean,
really enjoying. That's a
really
question.
Enjoying. Of course, I'm really enjoying. I mean, I was here once, twice now. This is my third time that I'm again with the team. So I wouldn't come back to the team if I don't like the team, the players, the coaches, the organization, the Beirut, Lebanon. So yes, I like in basketball wise. I like being part of the club with such a history, with such a big fan base, and to live in Beirut, in Lebanon with my family. We feel comfortable here, and yes, if I need to emphasize, really, I'm really enjoying.
Nice. So Angela IE is asking you, who do you expect to win the Lebanese league, excluding Riyadi? Who do you think is the next team that can actually win the league?
Well, the league is really competitive this year, with all this changing the rules, the number of foreigners and everything, and other teams also have good budgets, big ambitious like Beirut, Sagesse, Homentman, Chanville. So, I mean, those are like, let's say, top 5 teams that are aiming to reach Final Four and maybe to get a title, and I cannot say just one team of those, but in my opinion, those are 5 teams who will compete for the title.
All right. I think this one is funny. Namka is saying, who is your favorite singer from Balkans?
From Balkans.
You know,
that's my cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, she told me this morning that she has one question for me.
Interesting. Really? Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, I like to listen our like how they call it Balkan music, but if I need to say one singer, it's Bosnian singer Dino Merlin. His name, so he's one of my favorite singers.
Okay. Mufti Hariri is asking you, how did you feel when you scored your first 2 threes versus Sajas? That's a good one too.
Yeah, I mean, I felt good on the court at that time. I felt confident, so it come just like that. I mean, I know he's asking because I didn't have attempts for 3-point before that in this season, but in some previous season I had, and I was making some threes, and yeah, I mean, as I said, I felt good. I felt good on the court at that time, and this is how I made it probably.
Nice. Kika, was a pleasure, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here with you. Hope to see you again, and one more time, all the best in 2024.
Thank you, Kika.